The Chariot of Desi, a Universe of Destiny story, written by Daniel Lupiani and narrated by Daniel Lupiani. Grand Athenaeum Publishing. 2026, all rights reserved. A man, a bicycle, a world that has forgotten beauty. The Chariot of Desi follows one morning ride along an ancient engineering masterpiece into a quietly epic story of destiny, devotion, and the architecture of a life worth living. For all those who keep pedaling, the Chariot of Desi, a Universe of Destiny story. The day was just beginning, the sun coming up and light making its way through the window. This is comfy, this chair. The thought arrives before the man does, before Desi has fully crossed back from whatever half-world sleep deposits us in. This inappropriate sleeping style has become a true luxury, a luxury onto the path of destiny. The architect awakens. This is the name the old text gave to this hour, this moment before movement, when the well speaks and the new architecture appears. It has no glamour. It smells faintly of yesterday and the uncleanness Astra Mordun has pulled behind it like a tide across 10,000 worlds. What do I do? He thinks to himself. Do I get up and continue the bold fight, being bold and imaginative, or do I just sit here and cower into uncleanliness the bushel Astra Mordun empire has brought to my planet, into my life? He knows the answer. He has always known it. The path to the community that embraces beauty is active. I need to fight off this uncleanliness with courage. They just have to be devoted to the architecture of this lifestyle. So the bike it is. He gets up out of his chair, his comfort chair that is now growing with him, and begins to move to the rhythm of the birds. Creation is almost like a rhythm, spoken harmony. It brings clarity, it brings joy, and ultimately, what it's really doing is clearing a path for beauty and the creative spirit to come forth. And when that creative spirit comes forth, you have joy, happiness, and blessings that follow. He dresses without ceremony, forgets to shower, grabs his bike, and heads outside. Opens the back door. He does not look back at the house. The day is already beautiful, full of potential, full of the sun making its way through the horizon. Point A to point B, survival mode. That is all it is when you're living with the Astra Mordun Empire. Every day is survivor mode. There is nothing you can do except survive. Giving to the next day, solving the problems as they come, forward thinking, but that forward thinking is all to yourself. Not something society will embrace, and so it's something you have to forge with your heart, not forcing it onto other people, but showing them, demonstrating through leadership what destiny is truly capable of. Having the architecture of beauty and a bigger mind, being devoted to something great and beautiful that is completely opposite of this evil, unclean empire. This was not accidental. This was not the slow drift of a civilization losing its way. The planet Desi called home was abundantly rich with resources. Resources the empire of Astra Mordun heavily needed. Rather than destroy the infrastructure used to mine them, Astra Mordun chose a more insidious weapon, a religious coup. After the defeat at the last battle, a battle Astra Mordun claimed was fought against an ancient foe sent to destroy them. It posed as savior. It posed as deliverance, and the planet believed it. Ever since the falling, ever since the rapturing, the Great Enlightenment, it had become harder and harder to discover the creative architecture and build the path to destiny. as Astra Mordun moved in and conquered more and more of the universe over the millennia. 1,000 years it had raged across worlds. It did not rule with armies alone, it ruled with the god of hedonism, fueling uncleanliness, fueling stasis, placing a bushel over the light, so that no one could see through the veil and find the beauty on the other side. The slumbering types had taken society. The sleepwalkers, that is what they were, and they slept during the day as they walked and drove. He jumped on a bike and makes his way down the street. The first automobile of the day appears at the stop sign, just uselessly powering the empire, not doing anything for destiny. He thinks it idles with the particular arrogance of the unconsidered. Desi pedals through, finding the enjoyment of participating in the morning day, the birds, the sun in his eyes, the beautiful art of creation in the architecture that came forth from the ancients through their devoted work to destiny. These streets wouldn't be so bad, he speaks into the cool air, if we had better ancient transportation systems. People actually respected destiny within themselves. All these cars, all this cement, we put up a fight, we will find our way back. The canal path opens before him like a sentence that has been waiting to be completed. His bike is more than just a means of communication. It is a bridge to understanding. Bridge building is a form of unity. These bridges break down barriers. They are built through the cloak of fog and chaos, and they open up the path to prosperity, clarity, enlightenment. The kingdom on the other side that we have been desperately reaching for. A bridge between two worlds, one that had been miscalculated, its architecture, blueprint, and one that valued creative engineering and creative thinking. A society that placed emphasis on value versus a world that placed emphasis on hedonism to keep the economy going, to keep people busy. Two different worlds, one devoted to destiny and beauty. He stopped on a bridge overseeing railroad tracks as a train comes through below. He looks out into the city, the sun rising over it, and still looks before him at the destination that exists, the potential, the adventure, the opportunity. That which cleanses you is the path to destiny, not courage itself, but the courage to keep moving, the courage to know that there is something greater, and you have to move. You have to walk toward it, and do not give up. He does not linger. Lock 77 comes into view. He pulls his bike to the railing and simply looks. Ships had once moved through these chambers, carried by the hand of the ancients, on their journey across great, created engineering fleets. Fishers cast lines into the disturbed water. Birds make their nests and fly beneath the bridge that the cars travel over. The water flows almost as if beauty defined itself, controlling time, mirroring the sun, sunlines, and the trees and the landscapes around it. Flowing with beauty, flowing with time, and yet both still, both almost constant and cyclical. We must always continue to dig the well deeper, and we must continue to raise the kingdom walls so that only those who truly are worthy can pass right on through. Two intersecting, mighty engineering creationary forces. On one hand, the canal that was built by the ancients through all the wisdom they acquired through obedience and devotion to destiny. On the other, destiny itself, creation building a waterway over the monument of time, both intersecting at a single point in history and a single point in time. The community of Fonterra unfolds around him, a town that has somehow held the line. At its center stands the memorial, not merely names etched into stone, but a monumental, divine, colossal, eternal library of knowledge, wisdom, of ceremonies, devotions, blessings, living words through which kingdoms come to life. The names of those who have fought greatly for this preservation, not only for this community, but in the vast universe, are still remembered here. He stands before the monument of the ancient Saint Gallant, who had ridden gallantly into battle, and he says it quietly to no one, to everyone. The shield will grow stronger and be replicated throughout the universe. The ride home opens into headwind, strong, deliberate, as if Astra Mordun has arranged it. But he keeps pedaling. The canal now runs on his left. The sun rises higher on his right. The trees along the waterway form something like a canopy, something like protection. Something like the bridge of clarity, the sacred frame of his own becoming, walked every morning, spoken into being through devotion. Destiny does not wait, he thinks. It keeps drawing you up and away, just like the river, just like the canal and time. It is energy flowing, trying to draw all those up and away who have the courage to participate. He keeps pedaling. The headwinds are mighty. They do not stop the path to destiny. They strengthen it. And as he makes the final turn toward home, toward the place of cover, not the well, but the place where night rests before the battlefield resumes, he speaks one last thing to the road, to the canal, to the vast and suffering multiverse stretched and visible above the clouds. I guard the well, I build the bridge, I rise into destiny.